Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 21st of May, 2014, and I'm speaking to you from the developing city of Abeokuta, the capital of Ogun State, Nigeria. Today, we are converging on this city to commence the second edition of the Ogun State Investors Forum. It is a two-day forum. So over the next 2 days, in this media hub, in our own studio, we will be interviewing presidents, governors, administrators, businessmen, investors, top government officials, and regulators. The whole essence of this meeting is to find a way to bring more investment into Ogun State. Already, a lot of work has been done, and that work has to be complemented by even more investment. Over the next 2 days, we will also be showcasing some of the achievements of this administration, led by His Excellency Senator Ibikule Amosu FCA, who is the governor of Ogun State. My name is Yomi Badijo Okusanya, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of CMC Connect Perception Managers. I will be your anchor throughout this two-day event for the studio and the media hub. And working with me are my team from Wildcat Events and also Initium Tri-Media. Stay tuned while we bring you the best of Ogun State.
Wonderful resource to nourish our economies. Number two, we have poverty, intense poverty, both of us, as well as all of Latin America. We have an intense desire to do better and to solve our problems, so we're working with new ideas, we're working with people to develop our economies. So yes, there are similarities.
Okay. The theme of, I'd like to concentrate now, the theme of this, our second Investors Forum, is agriculture and urban renewal. Let me first take you into agriculture. You told us that 70% of the fruits that is being consumed in the United States of America is being produced in Mexico. Again, I'd like to, for the benefit of those who were not able to listen to you, how did you achieve that?
But first of all, that we were putting on this challenge through the trade agreement we signed with the United States. Many people thought in Mexico that we would not make it, that we could not compete with the strongest economy of the world. And that happened not to be true. Once we had to compete, we learned how to compete. It's like when you play tennis. Playing against a very good player, you learn a lot and you develop yourself and your capacities. So that's what happened in Mexico. Number two, having this huge market north, being neighbor of us, the U.S. economy, and huge amount of consumption that motivated to produce with efficiency, to produce with lower cost. Thirdly, because we focus, we said we cannot be good at everything. So we decided that grain, sorghum, wheat, corn was not our capacity to compete because that is machine intensive. But we saw that on labor intensive, we could compete extremely well with the United States. So finally, the result is that today we provide in many products, in the vegetables or fruit, 70% of the U.S. market. And our trade balance with the United States, according to agriculture, is positive to Mexico.
That's really very good. There's something else I'd like to take you on. I have so many questions, but my time is very limited. You spoke about knowledge economy, and you talked about manufacturing to knowledge economy. But in Nigeria, I would say we're producing economy. So we're not even, we're not in terms of self-sufficiency in manufacturing. So if I were to follow your argument, that would be that you have a produce economy, you have a manufacturing economy, and then you have a knowledge economy. But I've heard it often said that the knowledge economy rules the world now, not just the manufacturing economy. Is it possible to move from a producing economy to a knowledge economy? And
Yes.
what do we have to do?
Yes, of course. You have to keep working on manufacturing, and like you still do here in Nigeria, you have to work on basic economy. Mining, oil, energy are big resources to mobilize the economy. You have a lot of sun here, you can have sun energy. You have a lot of water here, you can have that kind of energy. You have a lot of wind, you can have wind power the energy, and so on and on. So the opportunities in basic economy are still there, especially when prices of raw materials and food have gone up in the last 5 to 10 years because of the Chinese demand for food. Now, number two, in manufacturing, still a lot of opportunities. You still import in Nigeria a lot of manufacturing goods. You can produce those goods for Nigeria and for exporting. But manufacturing needs its own capacities and resources. You must have very competitive, quality labor that today is not hand labor in manufacturing. It is, in a way, talent that you need also on a modern production facility. But finally, right after, you have the Silicon Valleys, you have the Bangalores in India, and you have so many places that are emerging with the use of the brain. And the use of the brain is sustainable, it's long-term, and it's the best way to create high-quality jobs, well-paid jobs. But you need to create those brains, so you need universities. So in the meantime, you're working on manufacturing where you need technicians. You are preparing on universities these minds and brains of the future. So everything comes at its own time.
On the back of that, Mr. Fox, I'd like to ask you about education. You made a few comments about education, and I believe that if we're going to have a thriving knowledge economy, education will play a vital role in that. Do you have any panacea? Do you have any suggestions? Do you have any
Well,
postulations on what
for
we do
all
with that?
purpose related to development, you need education. There is only one way to change a nation, and it is through education. But doing that takes one generation. So education is not of quick return. It takes one generation. You take a kid to school, if he stays all the way up to university, then he's going to be 20, 25-year old, and then he will produce with the brain, and he will be capable of being on the knowledge economy. But that's what has to be done. Number two is three pillars, three key issues to consider in education. Number one, everybody has to be in there, because you never know how much talent you lose by those who are not in school. You might have there a Nobel Prize. So you have to have everybody in the school, and not only for basic school, you have to have them up until university level, so that they are graduate. There we have a huge challenge. We're way behind in Latin America, Africa, and of course Nigeria. So Number one, we have to make sure that everybody is there, that we take 100% of the kids all the way up to university. So we need many universities, and we need them to stay, naturally. Number two, you need quality education. I mean for this that you need to review content every year or every other year because education is changing every year. And also the contents of education. So it's very important to have quality education content and quality teachers and quality schools. Because you cannot teach well where you have broken windows, where the students are sitting on the floor when they're going to school. So you need to put the quality conditions so that they become quality students. And number three, evaluation. If you are not constantly evaluating your system, starting with the infrastructure, the schools, the bathrooms, the equipment, the computers, the contents of the education. If you're not constantly evaluating the teachers, teachers, many are not the quality that a good school system needs. So you need to evaluate the teaching so that you can prepare them. They are very reluctant to be evaluated because they think if they don't come well, they will be thrown out. That's not the idea of evaluating. Evaluating is to improve. You evaluate to improve, not to get rid of those who do not have for the moment the quality. And finally, evaluation of the students so that you know how much they are learning, how important is what they think about education. In Korea, for instance, a kid will even suicide himself if he doesn't have the opportunity to go to university. 82% of the students, of kids, died of in a university in Korea. In Latin America, it's 24% compared to 82. And I don't know here in Nigeria, but I imagine it would be 24 or less than 24. So we need to work hard on education.
Thank you. One very last question. What has been your impression of Ogun State?
Well, what I find here, and especially on this
what would you
meeting,
say about
what I
what you're
find
doing
here is vision. And I was saying that to the audience that only those who know where they're going, they get it. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't have a purpose and objective, if you don't have a path that you're going to follow on the medium and long term, you get lost. And what I see this exercise of Ogun State convoking all these leaders to be here is to keep defining the mission, to keep aligning all the resources in one direction. I think it's very wise from the governor of Ogun State to have these events frequently. But I suggest that more important that Ogun State has a strategic plan. And that's what we do at Central Fox. We do strategic plans for governments. It's very important that you know where you're going, that you know your resources, that you know how much water you have, how much agriculture you can do, to know what products am I going to produce in agriculture, to learn how are my schools doing. So all of this put together sets a path for the journey this nation is going to take. This nation in particular, this state can be an example, can be a benchmark of how to do things. And finally, leadership is not only what you know, it's not only your passion and your compassion. Leadership is also making things happen. And maybe this is the cherry on the pie of leadership, to make things happen. Because anybody can make a plan, anybody can have a vision, anybody can convoke people to tell them what you expect from them, but only those who are the real, those who make things happen are going to reach the Olympics, are going to be way apart from the others. So making things happen is very important, because out there there's a lot of poor people waiting good decisions from this government and from all governments. Out there, there is a lot of kids that don't have the opportunity to be in school or in a university. They need that we move fast to provide them education opportunities. So we're in a hurry. Leaders have to make things happen quick. And I wish the best to Nigeria. I know we are all trying to move quicker, but I see Africa and the African Union as the engine of world economy of this 21st century. But African Union, Nigeria, and Ogun have to do their strategy, have to work together, because no individual nation on its own can be successful. Not even United States, not even China. They depend pretty much on others. So it's teamwork, it's working together, it's uniting Africa, what I think is going to give this continent the edge of this 21st century.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been a pleasure having you in our hub, and hopefully before you leave, we have another opportunity to speak to you. I've been speaking to the former president of Mexico, Mr. Vicente Fox, at the media hub of the second Ogun State Investors Forum. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, we're still at the media hub of the second Ogun State Investors Forum holding in Abeokuta. And with me is the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Ogun State, Otumba Bimbo Ashiru. Otumba Ashiru, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
To the media hub.
Thank you very much.
So, how has it been so far? I know it's day one, I know it's a bit early, but can you tell us already it's part of your objectives being achieved?
Yes, basically what we are trying to achieve is what we are seeing now. We invited President Vicente Fox to come in here and be able to tell us the success story, how they've been able to move the economy of Mexico, which he's been able to highlight today. And I'm happy to tell you that the success story of the first economic summit we did, the Investors Forum in 2012, it has brought in a lot of innovation. Many investors have been able to realize and find out areas where we have competitive advantage over there, over other states, and at the same time, we are blessed with a lot of mineral and natural resources, and those are the things that we're able to showcase now. And in the last 30 months, I'm happy to tell you that about 46 companies have opened shops in the state, and they brought in investment worth over $7 billion. So it shows that the Investors Forum has actually been a success story for us. And this second one, I believe that a lot of things will happen, and many investors, I've seen a lot of investors filling forms, asking questions about what we're doing. So I think we are getting there, and we're able to see the achievement of that.
That's very good, Otumba Ashiru. I know that a lot has gone into planning for this event in itself, and from the turnout, it has been quite impressive. What more do you want?
Yes, except we need to, you keep on learning. I remember that the one we did in 2012, we now need to, luckily you are one of the people that handle that, we now need to improve on that, and you are one of the people that is handling this one too as a consultant. So basically we are learning every day, and I believe that the next one will even be better than this. So we keep on learning and keep on growing. But the only thing I'm going to take out is that the caliber of people that are present today, it shows that people are now, they believe in Ogun State, because they believe that Ogun State is the industrial hub, is the next focus in Nigeria. You saw the president's statement that he thanked the Excellency for creating a new environment for business to thrive. And I'm happy to tell you that presently Ogun State has the largest concentration of industries in this country. So it has really helped our IGR, it has helped the focus, and it has really brought us to the map of the nation and actually of the world. And it shows that all the things we are doing in Ogun State, we are seeing the result and the success story. I remember I mentioned it in 2011 that Ogun State is a volcano that is going to erupt economically. We are now erupting economically.
I like that. Ogun State is a volcano that is about to erupt, right? Economically. So, Otumba, what should we expect?
Oh, well,
Fallout of this, what should we expect?
Thank you very much, Mr. Abadejo. I foresee a lot of investments coming to Ogun State. I mean, if in the last 30 months we can get about 77 billion USD, I foresee 100% increase in that. And I believe that most of these companies will come and share the success story with us, and they will be proud to be part of the success story in Ogun State.
Thank you very much. And we hope we'll have you back at the Media Hub before it ends. Perhaps to tell us at the end of it, share
What we've achieved.
with us on the communique, because we'll be discussing the communique, and we hope you'll be a member of that panel also.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking with the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Ogun State, Otumba Bimbo Ashu, at the Media Hub of the second Ogun State Investment Forum. But before I end, can I throw it open to the media? I was about to do that again. Please forgive me. All right. Sorry. Is there an animal who can help us?
My name is Manuel here, representing Pioneer. I have a question for President I'm thinking of raising investment in states because I'm sure there are different levels in terms of people's pockets. So what's the definition of investor? And what's the criteria to invest? One has an access to amount of money to invest, one has an invested industry. And then that is my second question, which is the definition of small scale investors.
Yes, thank you very much. You've actually answered that question on your own. Basically, everybody who wants to invest in Ogun State is an investor. And what do I mean by that? Even if we have the multinationals, how will the goods get to the final consumers? So you need the SMEs. The SMEs are the drivers of the economy in this world, and we believe in them. And I can tell you this: when the government came in, His Excellency believed that there is need to create wealth, and one of the problems of the SME is funding. And how do they get this fund? Getting access to cheap funds. And that was why we partnered with Bank of Industry. We had a joint venture with them, and we have a $1 billion joint venture with them, which we now have funds available for them to use to drive the SME. And the interest rate was 7%. And I'm happy to tell you today that 860 individuals have benefited from these funds. And to date, they've been able to create direct job for about 25,000 people, and indirect jobs to over 80,000 people. So what we are saying is that everybody is welcome. I can tell you, out of the 46 companies, there are few people that invested $10 million. And we still have some of these SMEs too that will start up their business with 1 million naira. But they are very important because they are the ones that will get the goods to the final consumer. So everybody is an investor. They are welcome for both national, multinational, and SMEs. And we're actually encouraging the SMEs to thrive in Ogun State. So everybody is an investor. It's not focused mainly on multinationals or international companies or only local companies. But the SMEs too are being given advantage. And also, we're encouraging our unemployed youths and employed graduates to be able to be the business managers of their own businesses. They don't need to do white-collar jobs. They can start their own businesses. And that's why we're giving them loans to have, you can see them doing fish farming, block making, and even I want to tell you this, that the first baking painting industry by the automobile people, we gave them loan, and that was the first in Ogun State. So everybody's an investor in this. For the SMEs, you must have your business. You don't need to be an engineer, but you must have your business presence in Ogun State because you want to drive the economy of Ogun State. You want to create wealth. You want to create jobs in Ogun State. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Biodun. When we came in 2011, it was a big problem. Even banks are not willing to open shops. And the governor was concerned about that. We brought in 15 armored personal carrier vehicles to combat that. And I'm happy to tell you that it reduced the crime rate drastically. Presence is a deterrent to And I'm happy to tell you that presently Ogun State is one of the most secured states in Nigeria. And it has been attested. The governor has been given so many awards. And apart from the APC, we have about 300 ILOS vehicles fully kitted with gadgets to be able to combat that. And it has reduced the level of crime in Ogun State. So Ogun State is a peaceful state that welcomes everybody. And please let me to tell the Nigerians in diaspora that Ogun State is a home for them. That we've been able to create an environment for them. And they are going to be at peace. They are welcome home. They should come and start investing in Nigeria and create wealth within Nigeria. Thank you.
Indeed, I can attest to that. I remember at the early part of this administration, there was almost a weekend when they had about 3 or 4 robberies, and the banks literally shut down. They shut down. But I can tell you today that despite the fact, most, let me put it like this, most states that have international borders have problems.
Yeah.
But somehow or the other, the state has been able to curb that. We used to have incidences of cars being snatched and moved through those borders. But all of that has stopped and has become useful. So I guess we really must commend the administration of Senator Ibikule Amosu, of which you are a part, for a job well done in that area.
Thank you very
I want
much.
to thank you again. I believe, are there any more questions for the Honorable Commissioner? All right,
Thank you.
I want to thank you, and we look forward to seeing you